Κυρίες και κύριοι, καλησπέρα σας. Καλώς ήρθατε σε μία ακόμη Ευρώπη τώρα. Πάντα στο Thrakinet και σε συνεργασία με το Europal TV, είμαστε εδώ για να σας μεταφέρουμε όλα τα τεκτενόμενα από το Ευρωπαϊκό Κοινοβούλιο. Ας ξεκινήσουμε με το πρώτο μας θέμα. Ο Σαουδάραβας blogger Raif Badawi, ο δολοφονηθής ηγέτης της αντιπολίτευσης στη Ρωσία Μπόρις Νέμτσοφ, καθώς και ένας συνασπισμός ενάντια στο καθεστώς στη Βενεζουέλα, ήταν οι τελικοί υποψήφοι για το φετινό βραβείο Ζαχάροφ.
On vient de voter la liste, la courte liste pour le prix Sakharov qui sera décidé par la conférence des présidents. Et donc, il y a trois candidats qui sont sortis de cette liste. Il y a Raif Badawi, il y a l'opposition vénézuélienne et il y a M. Nemtsov. Donc, trois personnes qui ont tous les atouts pour devenir le prix Sakharov. Et n'importe lequel des trois sera un excellent signal de ce Parlement vers la défense de la démocratie, des droits de l'homme, de la liberté d'expression et de la dignité de tous les êtres humains. Alors on est content parce que nous avons trois excellents candidats.
Οι ευρωβουλευτές τιμούν εξέχοντες Ευρωπαίους πολίτες και ψηφίζουν για να δοθούν κίνητρα στην ψηφιακή καινοτομία.
A digital single market unveiled by the European Commission in May this year and set to be up and running by late 2016, encouraging innovation while at the same time enforcing zero price discrimination for consumers. A joint report by Parliament's Industry and Internal Market Committees reiterates the need for cross-border delivery and stopping geo-blocking, a restriction of content based on your location. MEPs voted in favour of the report on Tuesday with a final vote by the full House expected in January next year.
Mama Europa, where are you?
47 Europeans from across the continent were honoured in a ceremony at the Parliament on Wednesday for their work in wide-ranging efforts in helping the most disadvantaged, tackling terrorism and promoting LGBT rights.
One thing is uniting us today. Life is full of twists and turns, and everyone has a struggle in their life. And you today, you are a truly inspiration for me.
Τιμώντας τον Ευρωπαϊκό Κινηματογράφο, βραβεία Lux 2015. Τρεις είναι οι υποψήφιες ταινίες. Mustang, Mediterranea, The Lesson.
Award season has hit. In its celebration of European cinema, the finalists for the European Parliament's Lux Film Prize 2015 have been revealed. And now is where the fun starts. Public screenings of all three films kick off across Europe. Hitting hard at the heart of Europe's biggest crisis, Mediterranea explores immigration through the eyes of two men from Burkina Faso on their journey to Italy. The film gives a telling portrayal of the perils faced by those seeking refuge, battling slave trading to bloody revolts.
Piace il tuo paese?
Sì.
E che cos'è la cosa che ti piace di più?
Mia figlia.
Lessons of right and wrong form the premise of Bulgaria and Greece's joint production Urok, The Lesson. A young and idealistic teacher from a small town in Bulgaria tries to show her students the right path. But can she walk the same line after she gets embroiled with loan sharks? And rounding up the finalists, could Turkish delight Mustang be the ultimate directorial debut? Already shortlisted as one of the films to represent France at the Oscars for Best Foreign Language Film, it follows a similar narrative to Sofia Coppola's Virgin Suicides. The five sisters, at the age of innocence, are imprisoned for daring to explore sexuality in a conservative society. All films will now be promoted and distributed across Europe in all of its 24 official languages.
Τα μεγαλύτερα ονόματα του ευρωπαϊκού κινηματογράφου ένωσαν τις φωνές τους μιλώντας για τους πρόσφυγες και ζήτησαν άμεση λύση του προβλήματος αυτού.
500,000 refugees from war-torn countries have now crossed the Mediterranean to Greece alone. EU leaders have shown unity, but they can't find agreement. A plan to resettle and relocate 160,000 refugees is yet to be fully implemented. Over 5,500 European filmmakers, including Juliette Binoche, Daniel Craig and Valeria Bruni Tedeschi, have signed a petition calling on the EU to act collectively.
Le premier allié de ce populisme, c'est le silence. C'est-à-dire qu'il me semble que l'immense majorité des gens sont des gens de bonne volonté, mais ils ne le font pas savoir. Et qu'il faut essayer de, je crois, délivrer, donner des idées, des messages, des positions auxquelles les gens de bonne volonté puissent se raccrocher.
The director of the Oscar-winning film The Artist was one of a group of the signatories present at the Parliament. Some at the meeting questioned the involvement of the elite of world cinema, but to others, their voice was an important one.
The European Union is not just a union of economics and the market, it's a union of culture, but even more important, it's a union of images. Much of what happens with refugees is in response to the images that we see. And it's absolutely right that filmmakers and actors and artists are involved in this.
Time then to break the silence for those most in need.
Οι χρήστες των μέσων κοινωνικής δικτύωσης ρωτούν για την ασφάλεια και την προστασία των δεδομένων. Ο επικεφαλής του Ευρωπαϊκού Κοινοβουλίου σε θέματα προστασίας δεδομένων, Jean-Philippe Albrecht, απαντά στα ερωτήματα των πολιτών.
It's becoming the question asked over and over. How can people and their personal data be protected online? An overhaul of data protection rules that date back to 1995 aim to give back power to the people. But will they? Over to German MEP Jan-Philipp Albrecht. How can we protect ourselves from identity theft?
The best is to really decide where you want to put your personal data and where not, and to choose services which are more secure than others.
How can the EU protect its citizens' information from giant corporations?
I think most important is that the European Union creates a law which is applicable everywhere on the European market and gives the consumer the clear right to determine on its own which risk he or she wants to take in the internet or somewhere else on his personal data or her personal data.
64% of Europeans fear their data is not safe in the hands of public authorities. How does the EU intend to tackle this issue?
The new EU data protection regulation should not only be applicable to private companies, but will also tackle public authorities. So also authorities who get my data have to respect the individual rights, that I'm informed, that I can delete the data and so on. But of course, it's still the question what's proportionate on surveillance, and that's not to be regulated in the data protection regulation.
Why should every country lobby in solitude? Why not do it together?
We need a common approach by the European market. It's the biggest common market in the world, and therefore we have an effect also on big internet companies like Facebook, Amazon or Google, who need to respect our rights also as Europeans.
It seems to be
Στην ατζέντα βρίσκονται για ακόμη μία φορά το μεταναστευτικό ζήτημα, τα ταξιδιωτικά πακέτα, καθώς και οι γενετικά τροποποιημένοι οργανισμοί.
Is October twice as nice? Well, it's back to Strasbourg for the second time this month, as migration, the Sakharov Prize and GMOs feature big at the plenary. Welcome to the agenda. Extraordinary meetings of EU leaders on the migrant crisis continue. Another is planned for Sunday to try to help Western Balkan countries cope with the influx of migrants. The migratory route for refugees bound for Germany is through these countries, but they're balking under the pressure. Hungary has closed its borders and Slovenia has just passed legislation to get the army to police its borders, leaving many migrants trapped. With winter fast approaching, the EU needs to get its act together. On Tuesday, there will be a debate with the EU Council President Donald Tusk and Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker on decisions taken by EU leaders. With a weather like today, an exotic holiday wouldn't go amiss. It said that consumers lose over €1 billion every year due to a lack of sufficient cover while travelling abroad. Rules are being updated to provide greater protection on package deals. The scope is being widened beyond the traditional deal on flights and accommodation, taking into account the way in which people shop around for the best deals. MEPs vote on Tuesday. In Strasbourg, but at committee level, MEPs of the Special Tax Committee will put a report to a vote that looks to ensure better tax practices across the continent. The vote on Monday comes as both Starbucks and Fiat have been ordered to pay back up to €30 million in taxes for being given unfair advantage in Holland and Luxembourg, respectively. The report goes before the full House in November. New legislation that would give member states the right to restrict or ban GMOs could actually be voted down in Strasbourg. The Environment Committee and many political families want the House to reject the legislative's proposal. They say it's not feasible and could lead to border control tensions between proponents and opponents of GMOs. Find out what happens at the vote on Wednesday. Championing a cause that delights, MEPs will put to a vote legislation that aims to end roaming charges. The legislation would end roaming charges by 2017. But if that's too far to wait, don't forget that by the end of April next year, voice calls will only cost you 5 cents a minute, text messages 2 cents and data 5 cents per megabyte.
Let me underline this.
The 2015 work programme came with a tagline, A New Start. Over to Commission First Vice President Frans Timmermans, who will unveil the executive's priorities for the year ahead. And don't forget that the recipient for the Sakharov Prize 2015 will also be unveiled in Strasbourg. Will it be Raif Badawi, the Venezuelan opposition, or Boris Nemtsov? And that's all we have for this agenda. Take care and enjoy the week.
Στο σημείο αυτό θα κάνουμε ένα σύντομο διάλειμμα για διαφημίσεις και θα επιστρέψουμε σε λίγα λεπτά με το δεύτερο μέρος της εκπομπής Ευρώπη Τώρα.